Hey guys, welcome back to another competitive analysis video. For this game, we're going to be looking at Game 4 versus Chili Mountain in the CCL playoffs. This is a lower bracket finals, meaning that the loser of this is their tournament's over, and the winner plays in the grand finals. So, pretty important series. Basically, everything on the line. We're down 2-1 right now. The first game we won pretty handily. Second game was close, but we lost. And third game we got absolutely dominated. So we're definitely on the back foot here, which is not a place you want to be when your whole tournament life is on the line. But just being able to have that mental fortitude and have your team reset, make sure everyone's focused up. The last games in the past, you gotta just start fresh and whatever arguments we had. Because I remember we did have some arguments about that. Because the last one was rough, and some people were saying we should have drafted this. Like, no, we played bad. And at the end, we just discussed it for a couple of minutes, and you just move on. You're like, okay, guys, we got to focus up. Like, leave it in the past. We'll talk about it later. So having that ability to reset, very, very important. And so yeah, let's jump into the draft, and I'll give you guys some thoughts and comments about the draft. So from first pick, we're first pick. Generally, what you want to do from first pick is you want to have three main options, and the reason why you want to have three main options is because they could ban two, right? So if they ban two of your main options, then you can pick the third. Now, sometimes what happens is they only ban one of your main options, so then you have two left, and then you have to decide if you want to ban one or leave them both and trade them. So in this instance, our three main options were Uther first pick for Uther double support pressure, Zagara first pick because again this is a Zagara patch, so Zagara was very, very highly contested because of how buffed she got with the Q damage and the Q buffs in general. She was very, very strong. And then our third option was Brightwing first pick, which is just like a comfort pick for us, and also something that they like to play a lot. So going into this, I was thinking, okay, we want either Uther double support, Zagara, or Brightwing, and kind of in that order. So it's always important to look at what their first ban, and we just banned Stitches because they're really good at Stitches. Like Cattle was doing really well with Stitches, and we didn't really like to play it. So just getting that off the table. Also, it's a really good Stitches map. So just getting that one off the table. They banned Zeratul because it's like my best hero. I'm like known for it. So pretty standard expected ban there. And so now we're like, okay, they only banned one of our options. So now like Brightwing, Uther, and Zagara, they're all up right now. So that's why we decided to ban Brightwing because it was the least prioritized of the three for us. And so now we're guaranteed to get either Uther or Zagara. If they don't ban either, then I think we probably would have taken Uther here and gone for like a double support Vala because those comps were working really well for us and something we like to play on this map as well. So that was basically the plan, is just one of the three, we'd love to have it, and making sure they don't get the compensatory prize of the second priority pick and being able to trade it. So we got the Zagara, really happy about that. Let's see what they go. They went Chromie Stukov, so they're already showing that they can't really dive anymore with this type of comp. So we're able to pick a very vulnerable backline. So we're able to pick the mouth here. The reason being is Chromie Stukov comps, like, even if you draft three dive heroes, it's always going to be awkward because the Chromie can't really dive in, the Stukov can't really dive in. So we knew we were pretty safe against dive. And also, it's not a style that these guys are really known for anyways. So because of that, we're able to pick the Malfurion here, which Malfurion's main counter is getting Dove, so outside of that, you're pretty happy picking him out if they're already showing that they can't dive. And we took the Blaze here because Blaze was really strong in this patch, and actually in game 1 we won with Blaze when I played it, and then the next two games they actually banned Blaze, so it's pretty highly contested here. They're taking it away from me, so I wanted to make sure and secure it because I was pretty sure that they're gonna third ban it. And actually, speaking about the third ban, they ended up missing their third ban. I don't know what happened here. Maybe they weren't sure what happened, but because of this, now we wanted to potentially set up a Tracer depending on their next two picks. So we just went ahead and banned Varian. The reason why we banned Varian is because Varian is like Tracer's biggest counter. Also, Cattle is known for playing Varian, it's a comfort pick for him, something he's really good at. And also, Malfurion's a little weak against Varian because the Malfurion cleanse at level 7 doesn't actually work against Varian taunt because it's considered a silence, and the mouth cleanse doesn't cleanse silences, so kind of like a softer counter to mouth. It's pretty good with that because you can throw the Stukov combo on top of that, the Chromie damage on top of that, so the taunt's a really good setup. And then yeah, we wanted to potentially go the Tracer here if it looked good, and into this comp, Tracer looks really good because it's really hard for them to get too much damage on her because she can dodge all the Sukov abilities, the Chromie abilities, she can stay out of URL range, and the Falstad normally gets out-traded by Tracer, assuming you're like not tanking everything. So that's why we ended up going for the Tracer. And the Nubrak's just a really solid tank, very, very highly contested generally, so we're really happy to get on the 4-5. Super good into the Chromie Qs because the Beetles can block a lot of those. And you've got the Spell Armor as well. Pretty good into Stukov because he's a nice cocoon target, and he's also generally pretty stationary, so pretty easy to hit with the E. And really good with the Mouth because now Mouth gets an easy route off of the Anub stuns, or off of the Maw, or off of the Blaze stun. So we got a lot of setup for the Mouth sleep route here, which is really nice. So we were very, very happy with this team comp. We thought for sure that we could win with it's like comfort picks across the board. As you can see this game, so for the last two analysis, we did more like melee assassins, and so now we're kind of switching gears to a more traditional solo laner. So Blaze is like the quintessential solo laner, the quintessential offlaner, because he fits the role philosophy really well. Because he's a super reliable, tanky, really good at double soaking, has good utility. Actually, let's jump into the replay itself. Actually, before that, I wanted to I'm gonna pull up the build here because last time we had a couple questions about the build, and I'll link this in the description as well. So the build that I went for this game was Adrenaline Stimpack, Incinerator Gauntlets. I actually went the Q at 7, and then everything else I went the same. So the only difference between this build and the build I went in this game is the 7. And the 7, you just kind of look at the enemy team comp. So they have like Mage build Falstad, Chromie who's a Mage. So I just figured I'd go the spell power reduction on Q. But actually, looking back on it now, I don't know. I think these days I probably prefer the attack speed in general. So I probably would have went attack speed this game. Looking back on it now, but not really a big deal regardless. And the reason probably why I would have went attack speed is just to stop Murden getting Skullcracker value, good against Sukov. Basically, like in HOTS in general, everyone has really high base attack speed, so anytime you can get a reliable attack speed slow talent, it's usually pretty high value. But I don't think Bat 7 really impacted this game regardless. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the replay now. Oh, and also the reason why I go these talents, I guess I should have talked about. So the reason why I go Adrenaline Stimpack at level 1 and Incinerate Gauntlets at level 4 is just for a better wave clear, more utility. So generally what happens if you don't go Incinerator Gauntlets with Adrenaline Stimpack is you go out of mana a lot. So I really value the ability to wave clear faster and to do camps faster, de-push camps faster. And also the utility from the movement speed passive and the active is pretty nice because running around with 10% bonus movement speed all the time is pretty nice and allows you to hit more stuns you might not be able to. And then the activatable, it's almost mount speed because mount speed is 30%. So basically you can run at people like you're mounted for 5 seconds, which is pretty valuable when it comes to repositioning in the fights and looking for some of those stuns where it's like kind of max range. And yeah, so as far as the philosophy here for playing Blaze, playing the more traditional solo laner is basically you're just a servant of the team. Is like that's kind of the way I think about it. Is everything's about the team. So if someone's gonna die, I'd rather be the one who dies. I'm always trying to peel, always trying to set up the team, always making sure I can stun. And as you can see here, I'm gonna pause it for a second. So my team was able to cover this mid wave. So normally you just go mid, top, mid, top, mid, top. That's generally the rotation. But here, I called for my team to get an extra mid wave. We just leave Zakara bottom, let her catch the wave down here. And I called for my team to get extra mid wave here. That way I can quickly clear another top lane with my trait. So you see I use my trait for that. And the reason why I wanted to do this is because I wanted to get priority here. And that's something we talked about in the last couple videos is priority. So I wanted to get priority here for camp invade. So not something you see that often, especially this early, but because we know Urel has to catch, and you see I'm pinging it as well. I'm like, look, she has to catch, we invade right now. That's basically what I'm telling my team, is we have a 5v4 for about 5, maybe 10 seconds. So potentially we can look to seal this camp or get a pick. And even though it doesn't work out, we get Sukov level 1, we get Chromie, we actually almost all die, which was a little monkey-esque, but still. Going for these sorts of plays is very, very nice, especially in the early game, because you're kind of setting the tone here. You're kind of setting the precedent of, look, you guys can't do these camps when you're 4v5. We're going to invade. We're keeping them honest, and we're keeping them on their toes to where even the tightest priority window, the 5-10 second windows, we're going to take advantage of those. So for the rest of the game, they always have to, anytime I go missing, you already know they're going to be spam pinging and, yo, he's missing. So just being able to have that pressure and show that you're willing to do that in the early game, I think is a very important tool, psychologically, and also just to keep the enemies, honest. So that's why we went for that invade. Didn't work out, but maybe we do another one later. We'll have to find out. So yeah, right here, just using my activatable. Like, you see how fast I clear that wave? So if I had one of the other level 1 talents and the level 4 talents, that would have taken forever. So even though I lose a bit of team fight power, not having the oil dispersal, which is the better team fighting talent at level 4, and not having the neural stim pack or the new habits at level 1, I think you make up for it more than enough with being able to rotate to the team more often, like being able to get lane priority more often, and also just having a lot more mana sustain and a bit more utility with the movement speed. So yeah, I really like these two talents because I never used to go them, but ever since I started trying it a bit, I was like, okay, I love this. So I basically go this every single game. Unless I'm main tank blade. Main tank blades, I think you can go for one of the other builds. Or sometimes on 2-lane maps, like the Battlefield of Eternity or the Braxis Holdout or Hanamura, where you don't necessarily need as much wave clear. You can like get away with it on those maps, going to Neural Simpack or the new habits. So yeah, right here, me and Lutano, we're just calling that we want a 2v2 because Blaze Tracer is generally stronger than Urel Falstad because they don't really have good pressure for the Tracer, so okay, actually we don't go for it. I guess I'll just stalling to be annoying. And yeah, just making sure I'm double soaking all the time. It's basically your job as solo lane on Towers of Doom. Just keep double soaking. So now we get out this wave priority. So here again, we have some wave priority right here. So Urel actually ignored the wave and collapsed. So my team's 4v5 for a little bit. So I kind of greeted this wave, but also my team should have recognized that Urel was coming. Maybe I didn't call it. I don't actually remember, but either way, we ended up dying here. I think Lutano was just like, I remember when he died, he said, that was definitely my fault. I messed up. So he just said, my bad, and we just move on, So whenever someone makes a mistake and dies like that, it's very important to like, you don't want to hold them too accountable for it. As long as they're aware that they made the mistake and they're willing to accept that, like, you just move on, because the worst is when you guys just dwell on a mistake that someone already knows they messed up. So we just said no problem, like go back to soaking, right? So just something to keep in mind is like not getting too emotional about it or too caught up on mistakes that your teammates make, because the more you dwell on these things, like the worse your team environment's going to become. So yeah, at this point, we've been playing together for so long that we didn't even like bat an eye. It's like, all right, it's fine. He knows he messed up. He'll do better. Like we have full trust in each other, which I think is super, super important. So right here, again, I have slight priority because Urel stayed down there and got that team fight and got that kill. Also, Maska just died. Unlucky. But right now, I basically have lane priority all the time. So it's pretty nice because she has to clear mid after me. But I think they're going to send up the false ad to help. So having one of your teammates help catch waves, this is a way for you to get your lanes more in order. So anytime you have time to do that, it's always nice. So, and as you can see, Tracer's Lutano is basically looking to match the false side in these scenarios because, like I said earlier, our 2v2 is generally stronger. And that's just because they can't really kill me and they can't really kill him, and we can kill them because Tracer is a lot more mobile and has more burst. And I'm like way too tanky, and they can't really focus her because she has too many blinks. So we're looking for as many 2v2s as we could get, but they weren't really giving it to us. You can see they're like passively rotating, and they're not really allowing us this. So they actually swap here, the false side to the top side, because he has a global. And I'm just making sure I keep soaking, trying to get us as much XP as possible. I can see her false stats top, so and they're getting really close to 10, so I don't want to sacrifice this wave because, so like, you might think like, okay, we should just force before 10, but they're never going to let us force. If I don't go for this wave, he's just going to keep pushing, and they're just going to stall us 3, and then we become desperate, and we have to try to force, and they can just walk away. So in this type of scenario, when they're closer to a talent tier advantage, you just want to play a bit passive and soak as much as humanly possible. And so yeah, we just call it a stall if we can, but otherwise it's fine if we give. It's basically what we're saying. Like, not a big deal to give one altar here or there, especially when they have a massive talent tier advantage. Like 10 to 9 is very, very huge. So actually, we get the Zag stalls, and I'm trying to fast clear this midway for level 10, but we're still gonna need a bit more XP. Actually, they go for it. Wait, what happened here? Sorry, I should be watching the 4-man more. I'm like just watching myself soak this whole game. So how did we get Avatar? Okay, I guess Cattle just went. He was just trying to zone for the cap, but went a little too ham. We actually got Avatar at 10v9. Oh my gosh, and Burkle just jumped into a root. So super whiffed my stun there. But we got, oh my, we got Urel ulti, we got Murden ulti, and we're not even 10 yet. That's a very, very nice start to this fight for us. So now they probably just have to give because they're down 2 ultis. So if I'm them, I'm just calling to give, it's fine. Oh, and right here, we actually cocoon Murden and we go for the engage. So really nice play for Masca. As you can see, this is more of an aggressive bunker where I'm using the bunker for the flame stream damage. So I'll walk through this combo, the basic Blaze combo. So generally Blaze Stun, because it's so slow, like as you saw earlier when I missed this one, it's really hard to hit somebody when they're like watching you because it's a pretty slow projectile, the Blaze Stun. So generally people can dodge it, especially when you're max range. So it's always better to try to follow up with the Blaze Stun. So like right here, Masca's calling to engage, so I'm watching him. He cocoons the Murden and he goes in. So like right here is a mistake I see a lot of people make where they'll instantly stun. But I'm thinking like I wanna change the CC as long as humanly possible, especially because my team's further away. So the better play here is for me to reposition, and the reason why I reposition here is I want to hit the 2-man stun. So I'm gonna hit him and him, even though I'm stunning him because of the AoE collision. And the reason why I'm going for Chromie for the initial stun is because I want to be able to hit my Q, my double Q on Chromie, the crossfire damage. And it's a lot harder if I stun from here because Chromie has such a small hitbox. So the further away you are from the target, the harder it is to hit the crossfire. But if I'm on top of him, as you can see, I wait the maximum duration for the chain stun. And I pop my trait for extra damage. And then, so as soon as I stun, I auto once, and then you hit him in the face with that crossfire. And that's a big burst right there. And then after that, instantly pop bunker because now my Q's down, which is my main damage ability. But whenever I pop into the bunker, I get another damage ability. So, I mean, okay, he mauled it, so I actually missed it. But this also helps my Nubrak, because my Nubrak, all he can really do there, now that his E and Q are down, is he can just auto attack. But see, because he gets in, he can do more damage now as well. So he can get in and flame stream them as well. So that's super nice. And we get the maul follow up. And we just clean up here, 2 for 0, and we're able to push the fort now. So very, very huge swing for us. Really nice engage by Masca there. And I'm just doing my job by following up. Like, just, like I said, servant of the team. Whatever the team's doing, I'm just trying to enable that. So my tank's engaging. I'm just trying to follow up in a proper fashion and make sure I'm in a good position to do so. So Blaze, mainly solo lane and Blaze in general, like all the solo laners, you're just playing around the team. Whatever it is to make your team more comfortable. Helping them engage, peeling for them. Like you're just, like I said, you're just serving the team. Like I said earlier, I'd always want to die first in a team fight. So you already know I'm looking to die for the team player, baby. I'll die 8 times if it means my healer doesn't die once, you know. So like that's the mindset you gotta have whenever you're playing solo lane. Is don't be too selfish, because if you're a selfish player, then don't play solo laner, especially Blaze. Like maybe play like the Zeratul or something, because he's all about the team. So right here on towers, generally what happens when you get the bottom fort, because bottom side is so much more important, the reason why bottom side is so much more important is because there's more spawns bottom. Like there can be the middle bottom spawn, like the next one as we can see, or there could be the solo mid, or the solo bot, or even the triple spawn. Generally, for the top side spawns, you just trade them because it's too dangerous to invade here, because people can poke over and it's a tough choke to go into. So bottom side is way more important on this map. Also, there's 6 zappers instead of just 3. So whenever you have bottom, you normally just want a 4-man defend and have your solo laner double soak. So this is what we go for. And then a lot of times I'll just sacrifice the top wave, as you'll see later on, because it's too risky for me to get that wave. Because if I go up there, then my team could potentially get dove. So even right here, so generally I don't prioritize. Whenever my team gets bottom 4, I make it a rule. In general, a good rule is, as solo laner, you should always be 1 lane away from your team. So anytime I'm 2 lanes away from my team, I'm very, very cautious. I'm very, very scared that they're gonna get engaged on. So you should always be like trying to see your, or I could maybe get ganked as well, which is like a potential concern. Which with Blaze is not that concerning because he's so tanky, but it's still something to keep in mind of like, if I'm 2 lanes away from my team, that's generally not good. You wanna minimize that situation as much as possible, unless you're a global or unless there's a very specific reason for it. So I don't even bother with this top wave basically. I just want to be one wave away from my team, because who knows, Urel could have looped around. Like let's say Urel went topside, right? But in theory, he could have went topside and then looped around this bush, and then as soon as they see me top lane clearing this wave, Urel could have sprinted bottom, false side flies in, they gust my whole team into a corner, and I'm sitting here like an idiot autoing 4 minions that have no impact on the game. So like that's why I'm very very concerned about these sorts of things when it comes to like splitting up too much for my team, because like I said, serve another team, you gotta always soaking's nice, it's very nice, but you always want to be there for every team fight, especially in the mid late game. If you're not there on time for the team fight, it's a major red flag, huge disadvantage for your team. So just sacrifice this wave. I don't even care. Screw that wave. You know, that's what I'm thinking. Like I'm just here to play for the team. And so right here we can see that they're in a position to give because we're almost 13, and it's really hard for them to push through because we have so much creep and we have so much zoning ability, and these chokes are horrible for them, and we're almost, yeah, I already said we're almost 13. So they just called a give. So I just go ahead and solo the camp, which is a nice advantage of this level 1 and level 4, where I can just do it pretty quickly. And as you can see, they're split pushing top, which I can't really defend it from this position since I already committed to staying with the team. So actually, maybe I can beeline up. Let's see what I go for. I'm actually not sure what I go for. I just go for mid wave, yes. I guess we're just calling to give top, which is completely fine. Trading top for bottom's always worth it. Like, even though they're kind of getting this for free, I mean, we just got 2 caps and 3 sappers. So we're pretty happy regardless to give this for that much of an advantage. And now we know we're 5v4 for a bit because we just saw 2 top. We're 5v3 for a bit. So I go for this engage. So I don't know why they let us engage here. Should be pretty obvious that I'm rotating down. Like, there's no way I go top here, right? So I think they're a little too aggressive here. I don't know what they're doing. So nice engage on Cattle, but the shove on Lutano makes it so where we can't kill him. So really nice shove, but still Avatar for free, we take those. And sometimes those situations I can just lead stun because I know I'll hit it. But generally I want to wait. Oh my gosh, right there. Oh no. Okay. No please. No please. I have a family. Dude, that maul just, oh my gosh. Hosty just mauled me, dude. Look at this. So, first of all, I completely whipped this down. This is too greedy. I shouldn't be doing it. Big mistake for me. But also, what is my Zagara doing? He just mauled me. He should never be mauling first. He should always be mauling off stuns. And now I'm stuck. Help. I'm stuck. Dude, report my entire team, first of all. Okay, it's fine. You know what? It's fine. You know, die for the team. Like I said, servant of the team. Just dying for the team, baby. I think we trade somebody. The false dad, maybe. The Burden, maybe. Do we trade anybody? Team? Okay, Bergholt. Surely we trade Berg. Okay, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. We can. They're pretty low. We can still probably defend. I think we still call it a CS4. Actually, what do we call it? Let's see. Because this fort's pretty low. Yeah, I guess we're still defending, hanging out. No, never mind. We give it. Yeah, it's kind of risky. They all healed up. They all tapped mid, and the 5v4. So we just called to give bottom. And this would be a good opportunity for us to get top back if possible. But we don't want to overcommit to top because they can push bottom. So we still need to have some people defending bottom and keeping an eye on it because, like I said, trading top for bot is never good. So bottom side is super important. So we're just staying around. I'm just slowly getting it back. Maybe Lutano will help me soon, but not really a big deal if we take a while to get it back because bottom side is way more important. And so yeah, now we're kind of on the back foot because of me dying there, and also because they've been soaking a lot more. So we just have to like kind of chill and get 16. I'm gonna slowly get this back with my PvE damage. Slowly working on it. Just telling the team, yo guys, I'm getting top back. Don't fight. Basically all I'm saying. I tank it a bit here. Completely fine. I'm a tanky boy. And so yeah, finally they set up a siege bottom, but by the time they're actually able to siege this, I'm already done with this, so I'll be back on the map soon. So nice defense for my team here. Surprised they didn't go for an invade. I think they were playing a little passive here. I think they could have invaded this camp while I was still topside, so I think they could have used their priority to make more plays this game. And so now we're able to, I think they're calling that I'm getting ganked, so I have to stun away there because they all went missing for a sec. So so yeah, I think we're just calling to do our camp. We're chilling. Go for a gank on Maska. Oh my gosh, really good cleanse from Legacy there. And then yeah, I'm just stunning to peel here. Make sure we secure the camp. This cocoon is a little optimistic. The root was too early as well, so oh my gosh, and I missed my stun again. Yeah, I've been missing a lot of stuns this game. Yeah, so now we're down cocoon, kind of bad, but we're still looking for something aggressive because we have a good opportunity here with these sappers to maybe look for a stun chain is always nice because they don't have a cleanse. So even like if I just hit one of these stuns and then we just put a root under it, then we can put a noob Q under that, and that's very low commitment from us because that's just like a couple long range stuns. If they go on me, I can spell shield and I can also use my trait and I can also bunker. So like them counter engaging on me is not good. And a noob doesn't really have to E in because just a noob Q and the mouth root is enough to where like Zagara can just throw down like all her Qs and chunk whoever for like half HP. I think we're just calling to get bottom because Lutano had to come top to help me out because Falstad was pressuring. So we're just calling to give. Saw that whiff maul there, not really a big deal. Kind of just hanging out and waiting for a better opportunity because we're pretty even on XP, we're pretty even on shots. So at this point, we just fish for whatever opportunities we can get. You don't really want to overforce or like take coin flips. You want to try to wait to engage to when you have some sort of advantage. Like people are out of position or they wasted some cooldowns or you have lane priority somewhere and you can potentially get a 5v4. So it's kind of like a mid-game lull state where we're kind of just waiting around for stuff to happen and getting wave priority. And you see I can sneak this camp away because of the talents that I have. And now, after I push this wave in, now I can look because Bergholt's probably going to stay here to try to defend this camp. So now I could potentially rotate down and we could maybe invade this camp or look for a pick or do something aggressive on this side of the map. So again, looking to abuse my priority to make a play somewhere. And let's see if it results in anything significant. Oh, missed another stun, dude. This was a pretty bad game for me. I'm missing a lot of stuns, but they do call me Papega aim for a reason. And now Urel's actually able to clear and make it down, so I think we waited a little too long to look for something there. But okay, see that chunk? That's just one place. That's what I mean. Like these are low commitment but high value plays right here. Like eventually I'm gonna hit one, and whenever I hit one, my team's ready. Like that's a good part about my team too, is I can miss 12 stuns at once. I can miss 12 stuns in a row. And on the 13th stun, everyone's ready because they believe in me. That's the trust you gotta have as a team where it's like 13th stun, Lutano's watching. You see that? He's hitting this guy, but he's watching me the whole time. Instant Sicky Bomb. Legacy's watching me too. Instant root. So that's the type of trust and communication you need to have in your team where they're watching me miss every single stun, and even still, they're always ready for the next one. And just like that, basically for a 10-second cooldown and what is it? A 12-second cooldown and a pulse bomb, which is basically, think of it as like a 30, 45-second cooldown, depending on how much you can auto attack. Basically, for all that, we just got a 2-minute cooldown. So that's what we call a good trade right there. A good trade. And then Maska cocoons Burden, and because he thinks we can get more here, which if he hit that E, we probably could have forced Avatar as well. So we're just looking for these lower commitment but higher value engages, like I'm saying, where we don't necessarily need to go Papega all in, but we can just keep getting favorable cooldown trades, getting their taps out, and then keep looking. Like right here, just stunning this guy again for chunk. And as you can see, I'm stuck in the sands, but I just popped my spell shield for the potential counter engage. I'm just ready. It's a pretty low cooldown. It's only 30 seconds, and it's very, very high value against their comp because they're basically all magical damage with the false side and chromie. So anytime it looks like they're counter engaging, I just preemptively pop this. And of course, worst case scenario, I could always bunker. Okay, we don't talk about that stun that I just missed. Oh, also, I'm talking about the oils. So generally for the oils, you just want to put them in the chokes. Like this is a perfect choke for oil because it forces them either to walk through it or to go around it, which is awkward because now we can easily hit our stuns, or to go around it here. So like just throwing oils into higher value chokes and forcing them to walk through it is super, super nice. And trying not to ignite those oils because then you lose the slow. So pretty much you should never ignite an oil unless you really need the heal, which you almost never need the heal, or if you're like wave clearing. Outside of that, you should almost never ignite the oils unless it's like by accident because you're queuing for damage. And see right here, just going for another little chunk. Spell shield. So that time I was ready for the counter engage, and look at that fat shield. I think that was a 2600 shield right there. So even though I missed the stun, we still got a favorable trade because I was able to bait all their cooldowns with the big spell shield. So that's just a nice heads up play right there. Like oh, I entered. It's like psych. Look at that shield. Oh, wait. 2650, bro. 2650. I'm full HP. That's insane. That's insane. So, yeah, the nice thing is we baited all their cooldowns there, so we're able to counter engage on the Bergholt Boom. I actually bunkered the Gus kind of clean, but we aren't able to finish him. But yeah, so we were just calling Urel no ulti this whole time. Like I was just calling Urel no ulti, Urel no ulti, Urel no ulti. So because we knew that it's a 2-minute cooldown and we had just forced it. So I hit him with that sun. I know the Gus is coming, so I bunker right as the Gus comes out to try to finish with the flame stream. We're not able to finish, but still another favorable cooldown trade for us because we're able to get the Gus and the avatar, and all we use is tranquility and bunker. So still coming out ahead on all these cooldown trades. And so right now basically all we're saying is we're winning these fights. We just need to keep playing the same way, keep playing front to back, like keep forcing their cooldowns and keep winning these trades, and eventually we'll win. So that's essentially what we're calling. And yeah, just keep doing what we're doing and keep it up, right? And so right here, I actually do go for a top wave. You see, I'm a little scared of getting a gank because they're all missing. So, but finally we see Falstad and Chromie, so I'm able to step up a bit. And this is a huge wave. Like I said, I normally don't want to stay 2 lanes away, but this is a massive wave. So I'm just telling my team, play safe, play safe, play safe, play safe. So even right here, we could Kunzbai, but I'm like, no, 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 play safe, play safe, play safe. So we actually end up, if you just see, we just end up leaving because it's a 5v4. So even though it looked like a good engage, it's too risky. In this 5v4, we don't want to miss position for this type of engage. Actually, as you see, Bergholt missed the hammer there. That was, we almost actually could have died for that. So really got lucky that he missed that. And then Make gussed us, but I'm able to hit the stun on Berg. I take a huge chunk. This was a bad spell shield here because I was too late. And then nice maul from Hosty. See, I wait all the way. You see how I'm waiting so long? I probably waited a little too long because he's able to smurf the time trap. But just waiting for the CC chain to end, you generally never want to overlap. So Legacy's calling, he's going to root. So because he's calling, he's going to root. I want to wait for that sleep to expire. So probably I should have stunned right now. So I waited a little too. I didn't notice the time trap, so that's definitely my bad here. I waited a little too long. And so he's actually able to smurf the time trap. And they're able to disengage effectively because of that. I go for the damage bunker here again, but still unable to finish the kill. They keep living 1 HP, but definitely misplay for me there. Stunning a little bit too late. Trying to get a little bit too much of a CC chain going when I could have just overlapped with the sleep a little bit. So my bad on that one, but still really good from us. We got another altar. So now they're only down to 7 shots. We're 20 to 19, so we're playing very, very aggressive here. Securing this bottom 4 is absolutely massive. And I think at this point of the game, I think I actually call for boss because I think they're on it. So I don't want to give them a free boss, right? Because they're all missing for a while. They knew we were getting bottom, so it looked like they're just giving bot to do boss. So I was saying, guys, don't let them boss, don't let them boss. Like, and it turns out they weren't on it. So then we're like, what if we did boss? But actually, this is a pretty horrible call because we don't want to give them a 5v5 on even terms because we have such an advantage in these fights. So this was a pretty horrible call. I think it was my bad on this call. But actually turns out kind of okay. Banana lives with 1 HP here. So they engage with the rewind on Hosty. Really nice cleanse again from Legacy, and he's able to spell shield as well to protect a little bit. And me and Lutano almost killed Banana. As you see, he lives with a sliver of HP here. And at this point, the fight gets a little chaotic. I'm just trying to stun whatever's in front of my team and just be a good anchor for the backline. So thankfully, no one died on either side. I have a bit of a face check here, but I know like I have spell shield. I'm so tanky that I'm probably fine. And as you see, I get another spell shield, but still I E away because we're so out of position. And they're very desperate now, as you can tell, because they're only down to 7 shots, and they lost their bottom 4. So at this point, we're just calling, all right, let's just chill. Let's just get some of these sappers. We don't have to play super aggressive right now because we are leading the game right now, and we're winning most of the team fights. So they're the desperate ones. We're kind of just hanging out, and we're definitely down to trade these next 2 altars. And just getting out more wave priority before the objective is very, very important. Now let's see. Let's examine the state of the game here. So double 2 altars. We just want to trade. They would ideally like to get their bottom 4 back, but they're kind of scared we're going to invade. So we need to apply enough pressure on both the boss and their cap to where they don't get this bottom for free. And in theory, if all these 3 sappers walk in, actually if only 2 of these sappers walk in theory we win. So stalling them here is ideal for us without dying. Because we get 5 here, they're only going to be down to 2. And if 2 of these bad boys walk in, which we already have the wave priority here, then we win the game. So our plan is just to poke as much as possible and try to keep them here. And we can also use boss as a tool to keep them interested here. So this is why we call for boss, which you might think a 5v5 boss is risky, but as you can see, they have to clear bottom. So false side actually flies down there. Now, for 70 seconds, he's not able to appear. So we have a 4v5 right now while he has to clear those sappers. So we're in a very, very favorable position to win the game here just off of that macro decision making. But I think we end up throwing here. Let's take a look. So I think we're calling to finish the boss. Oh no, I missed another stun. And the bunker actually. Oh no, it was the bunker. The bunker stopped. Oh my gosh, I played this so bad. Okay, first of all, I missed that stun somehow. And then the bunker blocked me from getting back on the point. Oh no. Also, we didn't maul the point either, which maybe he was scared that I don't know why he didn't maul the point actually. I think if he just mauled the point. Imagine he just mauls this guy. Don't we just win, by the way? I shouldn't have bunkered and he should have just mauled, and I think we would have won. So me and Hosty played that pretty poorly. The cocoon might have been a little early, but I'll say me and Hosty definitely blooper reel on that one. That should have been game, for sure. So definitely feeling, oh my gosh, another missed stun. Dude, I am not having a good time. Okay, so the main lesson in this game is don't miss stuns like me. Alright, so now we're like, okay, it's fine, we just need one altar. So at this point of the game, all we have to do, so it shows you the next caps, right, on the minimap. So we know the next 2 are bottom 2. So as long as we retain control of this altar, all we need is this one down here. And it's so hard for them to go for that because they're essentially going to have to go all the way around and play like in this area to contest this in between both of our forts in no man's land. So all we have to do is just AFK, and we have a tap here as well, whereas they don't, and they have no retreat path. So all we have to do right now is just AFK on this bottom fort, not let them have it back, and we should be highly favored to win the game off the next altar phase. But instead, what ends up happening is our boy Maska, he's into 5 people alone and dies. So I never asked him about this. I never figured out why he did that. Probably just, I mean, sometimes the jitters get to you. Like I said, this is an elimination point. Like, we're about to lose the whole series. Our tournament's about to be over. We spent like 3 months practicing for this. It was an intense season. Like, our lives are on the line. Like, sometimes you just miss the easiest stuns. Like me over here. Like, sometimes you just like panic a bit and you start playing a little bit worse. So maybe that's what happened here. I'm not actually sure, but as you can see, our Tracer's mid, our Mouse mid. I'm over here. Like, yeah, he's complete. Maybe someone PayPal'd him. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe someone PayPal'd him. Just like someone PayPal'd and missed all those stuns. You know, it's like, who knows? But yeah, pretty tragic for us because, like I said, all we had to do was just defend that fort. 5v5, it would have been fine. So now, immediately, whenever you do lose someone on one side of the map, the best play is to try to get value somewhere else. So immediately, we start pushing on the other lanes. So I wanted to push mid, but as you can see, they're coming for us, or they're showing like they're coming for us. So instead, we go to push top. And because Maska is dead for 45, we have to give both of these altars, unfortunately. And we have to give our bottom fort, because it's just too risky to defend 4v5 at this stage of the game. They could just fly behind us and gust us in, or Murden could just dive us with Rewind and Avatar, and we'll just lose. So we just call to like get value topside here. Essentially, we have to give this, this, and this, because a late game 4v5 you have to, like, you can't risk those 4. You'll just lose the game. But it's fine because they're only gonna get 8 shots here, or sorry, they're only gonna get 10 shots here, so we'll still have 2 shots left. And so we're just calling to get some sort of value somewhere. We're trying to burst this fort down before, so the ideal plan for us here is to burst this fort down before 2 of these die, because they only have 2 shots left. And that'll basically make them have to defend this fort, or defend this death zone, because we have 2 sappers lethal. So like we only want one of these bad boys to run in. So we're just trying to burst the fort, and Burkle is trying to like stall long enough to where all 3 of these will run in. And also we're kind of tentative here because we didn't see them, but now we see them both capping, we're able to step up again. And I'm actually smurfing here with the stun. Finally, I hit a stun. and the team follows up perfectly. Burkhold doesn't have ult yet, and he's just completely alone, so we're able to get our own pick now. And even though he succeeded in stopping our sappers from getting to the death zone, he died here, which is really, really huge. And so now we have the 5v4 for 55 seconds, but we only have 2 shots left as well, and they have 3 sappers coming, and they have Mighty Gust, level 20 Mighty Gust, the wind tunnel. So we're super, super scared. We're saying, yo, we cannot let them gust us. We cannot let them gust us. So we're just running in head first, like, kill these sappers as soon as possible. And thankfully we have the OP Zagara who's able to just one-shot it. And now we're calling to go on Murden. So like right here, we're a little bit split on our calling because Lutano was saying don't kill Murden, but like I was saying kill Murden, because I really wanted to kill him because 5v4 and I thought we could chase him down, but Lutano thought he was too tanky. But I was like screaming Murden. So and he was like, okay, fine, Murden. And like right here, I think is where he was like, no, we can't, because he like kind of mounts up and ran away. I was like, no, we can kill him. So like a noob stun, blaze stun, mount fruit, perfect CC chain, another noob stun, and then he's able to jump away. We get that sticky bomb slow, and then we're just able to run him down like that. The maul for extra. So now they chained another death, which is really, really huge for it, because Urella's about to spawn. If they just ran away calmly, then they would have been able to contest this 5v5 again. And then so now we're like calling their camp because we don't want them to get their camp. Because like they had a small window where when we were killing that Murden that they maybe could have bursted it, and we wanted to deny that from them, so we're just checking that. And so right here, instead of doing the camp right away, the reason why we call to get this fort left is because they have 2 shots left. So if we can save these sappers for after we get the fort, it's like a better win condition for us. So now I'm just bunkering to make sure we get this fort faster, and we want to burst this camp right away. That way these sappers pressure their core. And then this altar is about to spawn, so now we basically know we won because it's 5v4. It's really hard for them to contest this. I'm saying, guys, screw mid. Like, let's just get the sapper. I don't know why my team went mid. This is really dumb, by the way. That like, there's no reason to get mid because they're gonna get top back anyways. This was a pretty bad decision, but it ended up being fine because we're 5v4 and I do this pretty fast anyways. But the better play for us was just to all do this sapper camp right away. That way we get it pressuring as soon as possible. And so now basically 4v5, they have to worry about these sappers and they have to worry about the altar. So it's basically just checkmate because there's no way you can defend both these things. Even in a 5v5, it's hard to defend both. But in a 4v5, it's essentially impossible. So we're just splitting here to where my team controls the altar and I control the sappers. I'm not letting them run through. And like if 2 of these walk, we win. So I'm just trying to deny that. Lutano helps me out a bit. I think I end up dying to this shove because I don't have bunker yet, but completely fine. We end up 1 for 1ing here, and our team just cleans up the 4v2 on the other side. It's basically a 2v2, or sorry, a 3v2 over here, and then a 2v2 over here. And yeah, so that's game. GG's, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed. Hope y'all learned something. This video was a little bit longer, but I think we covered a lot. Let me know, as always, any feedback or questions or anything. You guys can always comment and ask me. And yeah, have a good one, guys.